Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And this is my reaction to episode 14, the final episode of season 11 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And we're gonna get into my raw reactions while watching the movie here, but let me just say that I am disappointed in a way that this is the last one. I'm a little melancholy about it, because I have had a really fun time watching these and talking about them with you guys, even if there were episodes I didn't care for as much. But anyway, let's cut to my reactions real quick. I'm about to start the last episode. I'm kind of sad in a way, because I've actually really enjoyed, watching these all with you guys, even when I haven't liked the episodes that much, which thankfully all that was in the first half of the season, but I've enjoyed watching them with you guys and discussing them and stuff. It's been fun to have this to do like every night and to watch all these and everything. So but they're gonna get a second season. They'd have to. Like, I can't tell you how shocked I'd be if they didn't. So but here's the last one.
Really, we're hoping for more of a combination of Joel and Mike, which I think would be a lot like TJ Miller. But
no, it would not. Oh, thank God they got him instead of TJ Miller.
That means a lot, guys, that I wanted to try making another bot of my own. So
no!
Warm, fuzzy feeling.
Oh, hey there, guys. I'm Growler. I'm an easygoing robot who likes to play the piano.
He's based off of Rolf.
I'm not showy off kind of way.
No.
I'm designed to pretty much be
even the voice, I thought, oh, that's Rolf. I like that guy more than Waverly, though, I'll tell you that right now. So I'm like, man, I like I've said, like, I don't know, 1,000 times already, I actually love Jonah. Like, oh, we want a combination of Joel and Mike. I'm just like, no, I like Jonah a lot as he is. And it's like, I think that's what, I mean, he's my favorite. And it's like I've said, I think, before, Crow was always my favorite. But I've really enjoyed Jonah a lot. The human character might have actually been the one I was the most concerned about, but he's been fantastic, so.
Come on, he's basically Rolf the dog, and
Yes!
Rolf the dog.
he's dead to us.
I do.
You're dead to us.
You betcha, miss.
Oh, it's Paul
This
Chaplin.
afternoon, I'll have a whole mess of observers for you.
Oh, wow. I forgot he was involved in this.
Power at your command. It is the God-given right of every American woman to become a North Korean dictator on her wedding night.
Now, I noticed that, TV Son of TV's Frank had the key around his neck again, which I don't think he's had since the episode where he found it, so it's probably gonna come important.
Bomber in here.
I wonder if the
Phineas T. Mitchell.
We're in extreme danger.
How are these guys not, like,
Dearly
panicking?
beloved, we are.
But where on earth can we be?
We're in Earth because of the premise.
Is that the third time this season?
Hey, it's Rocksteady. Dread 'em, boys.
Pretty good so far, riffing-wise, but it is the host segments where I'm just like, characters.
Hey, everybody.
I have a headache.
Tom actually looks kind of cool.
Gizmos and gadgets.
Who are they?
You're just asking this now, 2 days later?
Yeah!
Jim Henson's Muppet Atrocity.
Tempt for her by doing nothing.
Gak is way too good of an actor for this movie.
No man can take her away. The ugly one.
All right, that narrows the field a lot.
He's a man with the strength.
Welcome to Hall H. This is the Zack Snyder panel. We're going to confiscate your phones. I hope this is the...
Have never indicated a size much greater than that attained by an ordinary crow.
Ah, that's it. I'm leaving. Kermit the Mayhew. We got a great sacrifice
Wow.
tonight.
This one is just full of Muppet references. I'm so happy.
And
I'm using telepathy. Oh, well, that must be hard for someone without a brain.
Oh.
Whoa! Doug McClure illustrates how the world appears to the germaphobe who has to walk through a security checkpoint at the airport.
Almost hit yourself in the head there, you moron.
Okay.
What? He would be dead.
I landed on my keys, Raw.
He would be dead. He hit his head falling like 30 feet. He would be dead.
Hey, it's the Mayhew Show. You're a special guest, Doug McClure.
Really do need-
I've lost track of the Muppet references in this one, and I'm just like, I'm so happy with that. And the Little Shop of Horrors reference.
Perfect light
Crow
and
left-
dark meat.
Crow's left the theater by himself a lot this season.
Back mates with-
Every chore is salt in the wound of my unrequited passion.
Oh my gosh, don't talk like that.
What was that? I'm losing her to a hairy, lumbering idiot.
Oh, hey.
We'll give you the old McClure romance seminar. And she'll be putty.
I don't care about this. Okay, finally that plotline with the key is coming back. Thing is, okay, he's randomly wearing the key in this episode. He hasn't worn it since the one where he found it, right? Because if so, they could have easily foreshadowed, oh, he happens to have the key this time, if he had had it every episode up until now.
Well, him having only one eye means his depth perception sucks. That's good.
Jack's going to know.
We need to get you.
Been holding his merry men, what, David?
Whatever, Doc. You're out of your mind.
No idea what
I'm straight tripping, y'all.
I gotta do.
I'm gonna fly. Even though our bows and arrows can easily kill them, use this.
They tempered in God's domain.
Wait, where'd they get those clothes?
Mayhart Dry Cleaning did a fantastic
Yeah.
job with the suit.
I guess they're going to China.
Yeah, still digging down.
Shouldn't they?
Just a nuclear warhead digging up under the White House.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
Oh my gosh. They've left themselves a good chunk of time before the credits. It's like 6 or 7 minutes, so the sketch should be long.
Stop that wedding!
Oh!
Grandma!
King Clayton Forrester,
Ah.
you cruel bride.
I'm honored, lawgiver's granddaughter.
You probably.
You can always back out, buddy. She said she'd turn off the oxygen, Tom.
I told you I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
Maybe I can use.
When loving,
Oh my gosh!
Enough. You're not in the movie theater right now. Can you just shove it for one moment?
Ooh.
And as
He is so tall, man.
For as long as this series shall last. Reptilicus, Metallicus!
Oh my gosh.
Max! You killed our test subject! This is no way to end a season!
Jonah, no!
Yeah.
This is
You can't not bring Jonah back by... You can't not bring him back by the credits.
the button. Me.
No! You... The spacesuit he made, though. You jerks. You stupid, stupid jerks. Why? Why did you do that? So, did it suck him back up to the satellite and now he's in his spacesuit out there? Or what? Like, oh... Why would you do that? Why? Ugh. It's like, because now I just have questions, like, I'm assuming that, you know, assuming that's Jonah on top of the satellite in that spacesuit, it's like, okay, how'd he even get up there? How'd he get the spacesuit back? We didn't even know it was finished. I'm, you know, so dumb, guys. That's so stupid. It just, that is so cheap. So cheap! Okay, let's talk about this thing. Okay. That ending, though, because you knew something was gonna happen. It's like, as soon as TV's son of TV's Frank had the key around his neck again, I was like, he hasn't been wearing that for like the last 4 episodes. Unless I'm completely forgetting, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. So you knew something was gonna happen with it in this one, you know, regardless. And it's okay. You knew they weren't actually gonna get married, but come on. It's like, look. We have already, I mean, after what happened with Joel, it's like, I don't need to see the test subjects, you know, eating or disappearing or leaving anymore. Don't do that. I didn't think that they would actually have Jonah, like, you know, disappear or whatever until the next season. As soon as she said, though, that's no way to end a season, I was like, you are not, don't do that. And they did it anyway. Again, first of all, it's because they know they're getting a second season. I think if for whatever reason they had any doubts, I don't think they would have done that. I think it would have just ended. I've said this like 1,000 times. I really like Jonah a lot as a character, and so I'm just like, why would you do this, you know? It's like, come on, guys, come on. What did he ever do? Like, Jonah is easily gonna be, like, the subject who went through, like, the most trauma. It's like, think about it, though. Think about it. You know, Joel and Michael had relatively safe, you know, lives on the SOL. Poor Jonah. It's like, go out of his way to be a good person and get kidnapped, and then in the end still got eaten by a giant metal monster. until who knows. I mean, I'm assuming in the credits that was him in the spacesuit on top of the SOL. Let's make that assumption because it makes the most sense right now. Who else would it be? What else would it be? But how in the heck did that even happen? How did he get up there? How did he get his spacesuit out there, you know? Okay, let's go back, rewind. Let's rewind. Start with the riffs. Really good. I thought the riffs were good in this episode. It was another Doug McClure movie. Much better than the last one when it comes to at least the riffs. As well as the effects budget, it appears. At least a little bit. And it was funny. It was funny. It was good. You know, not much to say other than that. Well, a lot of Muppet references. A lot. Probably more in this episode than any other so far. And that was exciting. And another Little Shop of Horrors reference. Was just, yes. Nom. So, I was very happy with those. So, the riffing was good. The riffing was really solid in this one. Was it the best we've seen this season? No. Like I've said, I really love Wizards of the Lost Kingdom 2 and the Christmas episode a lot when it came to the riffing. Those probably me cracking up way more than this one, but it was still good. It was still fun and amusing. So still good. Okay. Let's start at the beginning with the segments. As soon as they introduced that robot and I heard the voice, I was like, that sounds like Rolf the dog. And then when Jonah's like, oh, he plays the piano, I'm like, it is Rolf the dog. And then Jonah's like, he's basically Rolf the dog. I was just like, yes. I like him so much better than Waverly, like, you can't even imagine. And they didn't destroy him, so I'm actually kind of hoping that one comes back for cameos and stuff, not to riff, but like, to kind of be there sometimes. I mean, he might never come back, I don't know. But I really like him, so I hope he stays. That'd be kind of neat. Let's see. Then they mentioned the wedding and all the stuff that's gonna happen. Of course, it's like TV's son of TV's Frank being weird, And as soon as you saw the key around his neck, you knew it was gonna come into play. Because I don't think he's worn it the past, however many episodes, 4 or 5, since he discovered what that was. And I'm just, But you have that. Jonah just kind of, like, I don't want to do this, but if I don't, I'll die, so I guess I'll try to make it work. Which is pretty much what the test subjects have always had to do with their situation in general. It's just never gotten to the point of having to marry their captor. Okay. The mid-movie segments were fine. The steampunk one, Tom looked kind of cool. Here's the thing that I think makes me the most like, really? Why'd you do that with the ending? Because I really, really don't like Max's character or Patton Oswalt's performance. It's like, not that he's given much to work with as it is, but it's just not that good. I think Kinga was a little better in this one, like I said, this one, and I think the last one, whatever the last one she really mentioned the wedding was, I think it did add to her personality. She had more funny dialogue, got to be a little more in character, and I liked that. I think she worked better. But he, I think, just didn't really work, so I still don't like him. So then to have him basically, I know it's not going to be that he actually killed him, but possibly kill Jonah, who I love so much in this series. It makes me upset. It makes me mad because it's like, I don't like this character at all. Could go jump off a cliff for all I care. And then you take the character I care the most about since the first episode. I've liked this guy. He is a selfless, good person, as you show every single theme song. He's a good person. And then you're like, oh, you're actually gonna do exactly what your captor says so you don't die? Well, now you get punished for it and possibly die anyway. Like, come on. So it's the frustration of, like, I don't mind cliffhangers if it's a show like Sherlock or even Gravity Falls had cliffhangers. Those were story-driven shows, so it made sense when they had cliffhangers and such. Mystery Science Theater is not a story-driven show. You don't need a cliffhanger for a whole season. If you did it for like one episode, like this wedding thing was, through a few episodes, that's fine. But a season's break? Come on, like, can Jonah catch a break for like 5 minutes? It seems like that. The bots are also meaner to him than they ever were to the other two. The other two. The bots are a little harsher to him than they were to Joel and Mike. Joel, I understand because he made them. Mike, they could they'd antagonize him a lot. They didn't directly insult him quite as much, I don't think. I mean, unless I'm really forgetting something. But I mean, I really, like I said, I really like Jonah's character. I don't like seeing harm come to this guy. He's just such an amiable fellow. And for it to be the season ender when it's like, it's just because you know you're getting a second season. If you weren't guaranteed a second one, you probably wouldn't have done that. You know, you did it because of that, and it's like, and again, it was at the expense. If it had been Kinga that, like, destroyed him or whatever, for whatever reason, maybe if he had just said, no, I won't marry you, and then she did that instead of turning off the oxygen or whatever, I would accept it more, because at least that's the main villain doing something to him, and I like her a little bit, like, if anything, Max, I dislike. Kinga, for the most part, I'm just like, I'm indifferent, but now it's like, I at least like her a little bit, and I definitely like her more than TV son of TV's Frank. So, at least then it's the main bad guy, and a character that I think overall is a little more likable and slightly more developed. And that would make sense, because Jonah's her test subject. If she tried to destroy him, okay. I don't know how you write yourself out of that hole, but I would accept it more. But it being this guy is just frustrating, because it's like, I don't care about you, but I really care about Jonah, and I like this show, and I know it's just because you know you're getting the second season. Like I said, it's the principle of the thing. But overall, it was a good episode. On my little scale, I would have to give it probably an A-. The riffing could have been slightly stronger, but overall was really good, definitely better than The Land That Time Forgot. Lots of cameos, by the way, I didn't even mention that. We had Paul Chaplin as the head observer, or whatever, like he was back in the day, and then you had, of course, Pearl and crew coming in for the wedding last minute. The bots, the bots are going to be fine. They weren't freaking out at all, which I wish they'd been at least a little more disappointed that Jonah had disappeared, at least. I'm not gonna say died, because he disappeared, but he's coming back. So overall, yeah, a good episode, pretty strong as it is. The ending is frustrating. Like I said, it's the principle of the thing. Just because you're getting a season 2, don't be a jerk about it, and give us a cliffhanger in a show that doesn't need cliffhangers. Just like with season 8, you didn't need cliffhangers episode to episode in season 8. It was because the Sci-Fi Channel insisted we need more story when you don't. So you didn't need them then. You don't need it now, especially for a season. It's a cheap tactic when you know you're getting the second season. If anything, you'll have more viewers in this season. So why even do it? It's just dumb. Like, I get that it's kind of the point, but it's like, I like Jonah too much to want, to let this happen. I think Jonah's probably the cast change I've loved the quickest ever for this show, if I'm thinking correctly. Because even Mike, who I also love, when I really started watching the show, I mean, my parents watched it my whole life, but when I was like 15, really started watching the show. I started with Joel episodes, and then watched a Mike episode, and I did like Mike pretty soon. Jonah I like from the start, man. He just seems like a nice guy. So to do this for a cheap joke, for a cheap joke cliffhanger ending that means nothing in the long run, I'm just like, why'd you do that to me? I like him too much for you to let you off scot-free for that and just take it like the joke that it is. Like, no, I like this guy too much. You've put him through a lot, and I want this character to have some respect. Even the bots don't respect him, except Crow for like 5 minutes in that one episode. So, I don't know. I don't know what I want anymore of this show. Oh man, this show. Like, we never had an episode in Mystery Science before where it was like, oh, Mike is about to be executed, cliffhanger till the next episode. I don't think that ever happened. I know that this video just became nothing but a ramble about this aspect of the episode, but I mean, come on, you took my favorite character and then had my least favorite character best him, in a way, and then have it as a cliffhanger to the next season, not even next episode, but next season, when it did need a cliffhanger. And if you're gonna do it, could it at least have been Kinga that did it instead of that bozo doing it to Jonah, such a nice and well-rounded character? Is that too much to ask, that it just, been written a little better, like you can't seem to do with the Mads overall? King is a little better now, but overall it doesn't work that well, and I'm sick of it. Just, oh man. So that was the last episode of the season, and I mean, overall, I had a good time. It started out rough, and it was quite a journey to get here, but I think overall, The season was good. I will be doing a video, just a quick, like, overall thoughts. I'll have my thoughts a little more gathered than I have for these raw reaction videos. Like, I do my little reaction thing, and immediately I take my little phone tripod, and I pop it right in front of me, and I immediately tell you what my thoughts are as soon as the credits over. That's it. So I can actually have them written down a little bit and, you know, be like, good and bad and indifferent, or this is still bothering me, or this comes off as better. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.